Hi everyone, today I wanted to start my video by giving a huge thank you to everyone who joined in our Goth challenge and showcase. Marna and I have had so much fun with this. It was just so interesting to see everyone's videos, to see all the different things that people had done and to see all your wonderful dolls. So thank you to everyone who joined in. Today I would like to invite you all to carry on with the Goth theme and join us for a Goth showcase when we do our Goth wedding challenge. The challenge is going to be shown Friday the 13th of August. We have a new hashtag for this challenge, which is hashtag Dolls Gone Goth Wedding. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a wedding dress for your doll, which is a no-sew wedding dress, because I realised that after watching all your videos that not everyone can or wants to sew. So let's get on with it. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using this sweet little Cindy doll that I recently bought from eBay. I absolutely love her. She's got the open and close eyes. I don't think I've actually got a Cindy doll that's got a vintage one anyway, that's got the open and close eyes. I've also got these little shoes for her to wear. These are actually shoes I bought from AliExpress for my Blythe doll, but they actually fit Cindy really well. Of course, you can use any doll you want and any shoes you want. I've got a few other little bits and pieces here, like a little bit of lace there. I've got some little black roses. I've got bits of ribbon. But for the main body of the dress, I'm going to be using a black bin liner. So actually, you don't even need any fabric for this tutorial. So yeah, I've just found a few little bits and bobs of black trim and things out that I could possibly use in this. And also I've got some little red satiny flowers here. I'm thinking of doing this dress in red and black. So for the main body of the dress, I'm actually going to be using a black bin liner. If you wanted to do your Goth wedding dress in a pastel goth, which I actually saw over on It's a Stroke of Life Melissa's channel, absolutely brilliant, you could always use a white bin liner. So in fact, you don't even have to use a bin liner at all. You could use black material and a glue gun. I do have my glue gun here ready to use as well. I've also found out bits of black ribbon, but if you don't have any ribbon, just cut some strips off your bin liner and you've got, you know, ties to use. That's what I would do. Just cut some strips across the top so that you've got long, thin ties to use. So what I've done is I've measured my bin liner from the top of Cindy's body down to the length I want it to be, and I've just cut it to the right length, and then I'm going to open it all out and we'll get on with it. You can see here I'm cutting off strips of the plastic to use as ties. This is actually the bottom of the bag where it's sealed closed, so it'll be a bit stronger because it's in more than one layer. So now that I've got my bag all opened out, I'm going to gather it up with my fingers. Let's pop Cindy inside there first. And I'm going to gather it up all the way around her with my fingers like this. Just sort of bunch it around her all the way. Here we go, just like that. Do that all the way around. Once you've got it all bunched up around her, sort of move it around a bit until you're happy with how it's sitting. And then I'm going to use some of this, you can either use one of these plastic ties, or I'm going to use a piece of sellotape like this just to hold it in position. There we go, it will hold with a piece of sellotape, and you really don't need anything more than that if you don't have anything more. Or you could cut a wider strip of the bin liner and tie that around. Then for the top of the dress, I'm going to take a strip of the plastic, or you could use some ribbon, and I'm going to just tie it above her bust so that I can fold that top bit down just under her arms there and above her bust, and pull it round to the back of the doll and tie it in a ribbon at the back there. There we are. I'm going to put it in a little bow so that it looks decorative. Cut the extra off there with your scissors, and then back round to the front. You can see that I've folded the top down there. Now it's up to you what you do with that. You can either leave it like that, but I'm going to use some washi tape that I've got here. And like I say, you could use washi tape, you could use a strip of the black plastic just cut thicker. I'm going to just stick this washi tape round her waist to look a little bit like a corset. You could use some coloured paper that you could just sellotape at the back, anything that matches your colour scheme, or you could use a piece of ribbon, anything that fits in with your colour scheme. So the next thing I'm going to do is the strap around her neck. So I'm going to just use a piece of this plastic strapping and I'm going to sellotape it to the top of her dress here with a tiny little bit of sellotape. I'm just going to stick it to the front there, and then I'm going to wrap it around her neck to the other side and then tape it on the other side as well to look a bit like a halter top. Once you've got that part done, basically your dress is finished. So the rest now is just really to fancy it up a bit. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of these little silk roses, cut them off the stems and just glue them to the front of her shoes. To do this, I'm going to use hot glue. Alternatively, you could use some double-sided sticky tape. Any kind of glue you've got really would work, because if you wanted to, you could just peel them off after if you wanted to use them for something else in the future. So that's her little shoes done. Now the next thing I'm going to do is some kind of head gear. So what I have is I'm going to put her hair up in a bobble, because she's not very well blessed in the hair department at the moment, this little girl isn't. And what I've got is a piece of this decorative lace. So it's just a tiny little piece that I cut off something. And I'm going to just measure that around her head, and I'm going to use hot glue to hold it in position, but I don't want to get the hot glue on my doll. So I'm going to just glue it into position and leave it there to dry. And then when I pull it up, it looks a little bit like a tiara. Then the next thing I'm going to do is cut a strip of this mesh. It's tutu mesh, I think it's called. So I'm going to cut a strip of that, and I'm going to fold it into 4, or fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And I'm going to tuck it under the elastic at the back of her bobble, and then that's going to be her veil. It can tuck it, you can rearrange it and tuck it around to the front. So if you haven't got any of this veiling, any black lace would do. I think you could even use a little bit of your black bin liner, that would be fine. Or you don't even have to have a veil at all. It's just what I've got and what I'm using for this. So I've folded that long thin strip of black netting into 4, and I'm going to fix it to her head using I've just used a black elastic band, but I suppose you could even just tie it around her head. If you wanted to, you could use some of your little roses on there to decorate it. I've actually arranged it around so it covers up her ponytail, but you don't have to do that. You could have it underneath the ponytail, you could arrange it so that it was on top of her ponytail, whatever you're happy with. So that was my little no-sew black wedding dress. Please don't forget to pop over to Marna's channel at Dolls Rescued. I will link it in the comments below. I hope that was useful to someone. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.